yesterday, what was that today? I can lose track. But this morning I had breakfast.
Yes.
For the first time in a long time. So again, trying to loosen up for the.
So you didn't have breakfast when your family was here?
I usually do not eat breakfast, man.
Mm.
That's usually
interesting.
Yeah, noon. Unless if I'm working and I have important meetings, I like to be fasted in my meetings. Mm-hmm. It's something I like to do. It increases my focus. It helps me think better. So sometimes I won't eat until after all my meetings are over with. So yeah,
I understand that.
Yeah. So feeling pretty good, man. Feeling really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Spiritual.
Yeah. Yo, on me.
You got it, man.
All right.
Ball on your side.
Playing tennis. Spiritual discipline is going pretty well. So I'm still doing my prayer. I'm still doing the fasting till noon. Still doing the reading. I don't read as much scripture as I want to, so I need to get back into some kind of structure with the scripture. Yes. I've been trying to finish this book, so I wanted to get through this before we recorded. But I want to go back into the scriptures, and I actually started doing some more meditating. I don't know how you feel about meditation. We haven't talked about it, but just learning more about it and just trying to increase presence and awareness. And so entry-level meditation, I would say, right out here in the garage. I got a sauna.
Now, with your meditation, do you have like any type of music playing in the background and you just sitting silently?
So there's a guy, his name is Joe Dispenza.
I've heard of him.
So he is, he wrote a book, it's called Becoming Supernatural. He gets way into thoughts and feelings and belief, and so he has a lot on YouTube. And so I just found like this 30-minute video of his. It's like a guided meditation where he's talking, he's got music playing. But it's close your eyes, it's breathe deeply, and then it's really thinking about, a lot of it's gratitude as well, being thankful. So I've heard a lot of people say good things about meditation, and so it was enough for me to say, let me give it a try. Yeah. Especially as it's getting cold, I know I got to strengthen up my physical and my mental and my spiritual health to get through the winter season. But yeah, still doing my morning prayer out here in the garage, and it is getting cold. So
there's some apps. There's one app in particular. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it, but it's like the world's largest meditation app, and it's all guided meditations.
Okay.
You can go in, you can choose, like you can filter it based on time frame. You can also filter it like based on topics like joy, peace. You know what I mean? Gratitude. I can't remember the name of it, because I actually tried it out. They got a free version, and then they got a paid version. The paid version, you get more features or whatever. But yeah, it's an app. If I find the name, I'll share it, because I've tried it out, and it was pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a new one for me. But yeah, still trying to keep those spiritual disciplines. But I had to realize that at one point, you start to slip into legalism a little bit. So was I really doing it to try to strengthen my relationship with God, or was I just checking a box? And so as I was coming out here in the garage every morning, it was like, okay, let me hurry up and get it done. Let me come out here and hurry up and get it done. I really had to think, why am I doing this? Is this for the right reason?
Yes.
And so I really had to focus on being more intentional. We go back to the intention and really trying to strengthen my relationship with God as the reason for coming out here. To do that, not just to check a box, just to say, hey, I've been praying for every morning. I'm 99%. It's like, that's not really the point of doing this. So
not at all. It's like when you teach your kids like the model prayer or whatnot, and it gets to the point where they know it and they can spit it out, but you just get used to the repetition. You don't think about the meaning behind it. Mm-hmm. So it's just, I'm doing it just to do it versus I'm doing it, and like you said, it's bringing me closer to God.
Yeah. And the same thing with the fasting. So at one point, fasting, when I first started, it was to lose weight. I'm trying to drop some pounds, but I'm trying to gain weight at this point. So it's not even to lose weight. It's more of it's a means of grace. And this is getting into Wesleyan theology a little bit, but fasting is a way to get grace. Praying is a means of grace. And so, wasn't about weight loss, and it's still not about weight loss. It's about the spiritual component of it. So, not perfect, but trying to work on it still.
Awesome.
Yeah. spirit for you?
Yeah, man. Still reading pretty much Monday through Friday. Um, on my own personal Bible study, I'm still going through prophets.
Okay. Where are you now?
I'm in Ezekiel.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Ezekiel now.
Ezekiel's will.
Yeah.
Ezekiel is the bones.
Yeah.
Can these bones?
That's right.
Yes,
The
dry bones.
Valley of the dry bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. In our group Bible study, we're going through Mark. So, Mark is the action-packed book of the Bible, man. I mean, it's a whole lot of things being done, crammed into that one. But yeah, Monday through Friday, I'm doing at least a chapter a day for my own personal Bible study.
Okay.
Aside from, reading to prepare for our group Bible study at work. And we're actually taking the holidays off from church Bible study. So yeah, man, like my discipline is still in place. Reading Monday through Friday. Most days, Monday through Friday, I'm sending out a Bible verse. Usually it'll coincide with what I'm reading. Like if I'm in Ezekiel 1, usually the verse will come from Ezekiel 1 if there's something relevant in there. Or I'll end up taking you read the Bible and it points to something in the past or even maybe a prophecy that points to the future. So I'll go down a rabbit hole reading up on that one, and then I end up finding something, this would be great for the group. This is something great for me, so I'll share it with the group. Because, and this is kind of an off point, but I used to read a lot, you know what I mean? Like way more than I read now. And I would read with the intention of sharing it with people versus the intention of filling myself up. Then, as I'm full, I can share it with people. Like, as soon as you get to it, like, oh man, this would be great for so-and-so. You know what I mean? Like, nah, this is great for you. You need it. So, yeah.
I've tried to realize that more as I'm reading now. Let me think about how this affects me instead of me thinking about what I can give to somebody else. Like, ooh, so-and-so could use this. Yeah. Maybe I could use it.
That's right. That's right.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
Man. So that's where we're at with the spirit, man.
Okay. All right.
And I guess music falls under spiritual. So
yeah, still
doing music. Doing a jazz boot camp.
Okay.
I'm at the halfway point. So yeah, man, we're cranking out some Miles Davis soon.
All right. You got your guitar. You brought your guitar. We might do a jam session here.
Yeah, we're gonna make some noise.
Do something.
We're gonna make some noise.
Good. Any music you're listening to? Any new? You don't listen to new music?
So I've been coming across a lot of. I say a lot. I've been coming across a lot of music I haven't been familiar with lately. Like my daughter, they had a concert at school. So the orchestra played. They played some songs for like maybe 30 minutes. Then the dance teams plural came up because they got 6th grade dance, 7th grade dance, 8th grade dance, and all of them performed like maybe 3 times. So there's a lot of songs that I heard from that particularly, like when I sent you the Teddy Swims, Lose Control, and the Leela James, Fall. I think it's Fall for You or whatever. Yeah. So it's songs. It's like, man, that's a good song. You gotta look like, man, that song been out 10 years. Some been out 10 years. I've been listening to a little bit of everything, man. Okay. I've been listening to a lot of blues lately. I've been listening to, really over the last week, I've been listening to her, some of her songs. Because I mean, she sings and she plays the guitar, and she is like really good at both. Yeah, man. So my music exposure has grown drastically. Okay. Yeah, man. Because, like you said, man, I usually pull up my Pandora and I listen to what I listen to, and that's it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm letting a lot of new stuff in. Okay. Yeah.
There's a new album. There's an artist. You heard of No Big Deal? He's a Christian hip hop artist.
Yeah, he has a song with oh gosh, I can't think of the name. He has the guy with the dreads, man. He was part of 116. I can't think of his name.
KB?
No, yeah, it is KB.
Okay.
He had a song with KB from a couple of years ago, and it was like this take on an old gospel song or whatever. And he just made a song. It was dope.
King Jesus?
Yep. As long as I got King Jesus, I don't need nobody else. Yeah. That's it, man. So that's the only song I was familiar with.
That song is actually on. He just released a new Unplugged album. So it's a live recording.
That should be dope.
And it's got live music.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing that a lot recently. And he had the last song on the album is King Jesus.
Yeah.
So, oh, is that guy King Jesus?
That's a really good song, man. And like the lyrics in there are scripturally sound.
Yep, agree.
You know, so yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. Good, man. So
but
that's
you need more than King
Spirit.
Jesus. You do need people.
That's
you
right.
need people. I'm just gonna say it.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Your purpose is attached to people.
Yeah.
You're gonna serve somebody.
That's right.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Serve God, serve people.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
That's mind, body, spirit.
That's it, man.
Okay.
You wanna jump in the Bonhoeffer?
Yeah, let's talk about Bonhoeffer, man. So, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, I didn't know who he was. My dad was a Methodist minister, granddad Methodist minister, great granddad Methodist minister.
Everybody does the same thing in your family.
they all did the same thing in the family.
They all do the same thing. They all join the same fraternity.
Yeah,
man.
And I went straight to business. I was like, let me go business, and I ended up in seminary anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so as a kid, I remember hearing about Bonhoeffer just in my dad's sermons, and he would always, not always, but sometimes he would reflect on, he would say like, I wish I could talk to Bonhoeffer about certain things. So I never knew anything about him, you know, but just knew of him just through my dad's sermons. And so I ended up in seminary at Duke, and so first year on campus at Duke, I'd taken, I think it was Wesleyan theology, and one of the first assignments in class was to read the first chapter from this book.
Really?
Yeah, very first assignment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, I get to finally hear about this guy Bonhoeffer. I've been hearing about him my whole life, and so the first chapter was talks about costly grace, and I didn't know what. I mean, I barely was learning about what grace was at that point, and so just this idea of costly grace. And if there's one thing I've thought about a lot over the past 5 years or so, it's just been this idea of cheap versus costly grace. Mm-hmm. And so Bonhoeffer was a German theologian. He was Lutheran. He was famous for standing up to Hitler.
That's right.
And so very influential. He wrote a couple books. He was killed. Yeah. So this book is one of probably his most influential. And as it turns out, he just had a movie. He didn't have one, but somebody wrote a movie about his life.
That's right.
And so it's just super coincidental that, you know, my wife will say I talk about Bonhoeffer like almost on a daily basis. Just very heavy theology, super, genius level thinking.
Yeah.
So it's really given me a lot to think about in these past 5 years or so. And so the movie just came out, and so I haven't had a chance to see it. So maybe go see it. If you haven't, I'm sure you haven't. A lot of people probably have not seen it, but definitely.
It's amazing.
Okay, I want to go see it. So maybe you can talk about what that experience was like going to the movie, and what's your, did you know about Bonhoeffer? Like,
so I only knew about Bonhoeffer. So yeah, this is the book, Costly Discipleship. And so my introduction to him was through you. When we first started talking about this book. And since then, well, actually, a part of the introduction on this is written by Eric Matas, or whatever, how do you say his name? It looked like Metaxas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's something Matas.
I got another book of his up there.
By Eric, okay. Mm-hmm. Like I know him first band.
Yeah, it's Eric.
Yeah, that's Eric book. And so Eric Matas actually wrote the Bonhoeffer biography. Mm-hmm. And so in this introduction, he gives a lot of content on who it is you're about to hear from in this book. Mm-hmm. And I think he does it really good justice. I mean, you got somebody like, it's like talking to, who wrote the biography of Malcolm X? Alex Haley?
Yeah, Alex Haley.
So it's like talking to Alex Haley about Malcolm X. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you want to know, go to the person who put all this stuff together, you know what I'm saying, to do the full thing, do the real deal.
Yeah.
So it gives you a really good snapshot of who this guy is that you're about to hear from. And then, that is really like my introduction to Bonhoeffer.
Okay.
It is some steep theology in there, but everything is not very steep.
Yeah.
Like some of the underlying themes are steep, but then it's certain lines that you read and it just punches you in the face because it's straightforward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're actually gonna compare I guess you can say, compare our highlights for this first chapter when he's talking about cheap versus costly grace.
Yeah, that's
sure,
right,
man. But the movie's fantastic because, not to give anything away, like he was a pastor. He was a genius because I think his time when he was in New York, like he was too young to graduate from seminary school, so they just sent him over there for more training, I believe. So I mean, the guy's like genius level. And then and he was a spy because they kind of sent him off to kind of start the separation of the church.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. They do a really good job because you got to remember this is during World War One.
Yeah.
So there are scenes of war, but then there are also scenes of praise and worship inside churches, and they do a great job in the different areas. Like it's very believable.
Yeah.
It's very believable.
Yeah. So I think it's pastor, spy, assassin.
Yeah.
That's quite the combination to put on your signature line.
That's right.
Pastor,
a whole lot of hats to wear, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But they did a really good job. Like I saw it Monday, I guess.
Okay.
So I saw it about 6 days ago, and I would absolutely go back and watch it again on the big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go check it out. We had a lot going on at the house. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna definitely go check it out this weekend.
Definitely catch it before it leaves out the theater. But it just came out.
Okay.
A week or so ago, I believe. So.
Is it from the same group that made The Chosen? Is it the same?
Not the same because Chosen was made by 5 and 2.
Okay.
But it is Angel Studios.
Okay.
It is Angel Studios. So I guess you would say the umbrella company is the same.
Okay. Yeah, so go check it out. I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah, man, go check it out
ASAP, as soon as I can.
We don't get no kickback, but go check it out.
Yeah,
we working on it.
Yeah. So we were actually in the mall in Concord Mills, and the kids were shopping. I said, "Y'all go shop. I'm gonna just walk to the bookstore and get a book." And I happened to just pick this up in the mall, and I sat down and I started reading it, and I just did not put it down until I finished it. And so, as I mentioned, when I first went to do first year in seminary, it was an assignment freshman year, and a lot of it I didn't understand. It was hard to read. Maybe it's because I was, thrown into seminary. There was a lot going on, but it just didn't stick. But this second time around, I think because I better understood just the Bible and theology, it made a lot more sense. And so the first chapter is Costly Grace. And he opens with, a bold statement. You talked about being bold. He says, cheap grace is the deadly enemy of our church. We're fighting today for costly grace. So I think the assignment was, what does cheap grace versus costly grace look like for you in your personal life? And so that was something that I had to think about the first year. And I think, I think about costly grace being exactly what it says. It ought to be costly to you. It should cost you something.